Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Matt, and today we're going to be talking about why you're probably not making that much progress learning a foreign language. Let's get started. I think that one of the biggest problems that people have when they're learning a foreign language is that they're not having fun while doing it. And this is so important, and so many people make this mistake. And I think it starts with a lot of people kind of have this negative association with learning a language. They think it's this grind, it's not fun, it involves just doing grammar and all these kind of boring things. And that's really one of the biggest mistakes you can make. You really need to start having fun to make a lot of progress in a foreign language. And just kind of as a kind of quick illustration, if your goal is to be fluent or very competent in a language, just realize that that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to get there. And so, to make that process more easy and just a lot more fun, you really want to be consuming material that's interesting to you, that's compelling, that's fun, because otherwise it's going to be a grind. It's going to be very, very hard to do these really boring things and boring methods to get to that fluency level. So you really want to incorporate some fun things into that language learning process for you. But not only that, though, get to a level where those fun things are actually helping you to learn the language, because that's really how you get to fluency relatively easily, right? Is that you're having fun, it's less of a grind, and that kind of helps make that path for you a lot easier than if you just kind of stuck to this really bad strategy that's boring and possibly not even very effective. So how do you get there, right? Well, I think that this problem is very pronounced for beginners, which are probably the people that are the most likely to quit learning a foreign language. So, initially there's this kind of honeymoon phase where people, the language is very new, it's exciting, they're saying their first words, and it's really cool. But then reality hits in, things start getting very overwhelming. Grammar concepts start coming in and things don't make sense. There's just so many things being thrown at you, and you really can't use the language very effectively. You can't speak. You listen to audio and it's just a wave of sound. And I think at those periods in time, the biggest thing you can do is have a plan for getting to compelling material, which a lot of people don't go ahead and do. So if you're not having fun, and it's pretty tough as a beginner because you don't have that skill set a plan to consume compelling material. How are you going to get there? Is it studying every single day and being very consistent? Is it changing the way that you're studying to get more words to get to that place where you can enjoy that content? Figure out what that strategy is and go and execute that so you can get to that material as quickly as possible. Now, what is fun and compelling, right? I think a lot of people don't know what that is for themselves, and just imagine, how do you want to use the language? What is fun to you? So just a couple of examples of that is, for example, listening to audiobooks in a foreign language, or watching YouTube from foreign YouTubers, or maybe that's watching movies on Netflix. It could also be speaking to foreigners, whether that's in your local community or conversation partners. Maybe it's also reading fiction, history, or something else in a foreign language. Those are compelling things that are also effective methods, right? When you're reading, you're picking up vocabulary, you're noticing grammatical structures, but you're also having fun because you're reading something that you want to read and that's enjoyable. So I think that that's key. Get to those places. Now, if you're beyond that beginner phase and you're more in that intermediate step and you're not sure if you're kind of there yet, give it a shot. You really don't have much to lose by just trying out and seeing if you can start enjoying some of that compelling material. And just remember, you're probably not going to understand every single thing that's thrown at you. You're not going to have 100% comprehension reading a book in a foreign language, probably. You're not going to be able to understand every single thing in the movie that you're watching. It's okay to generally get the gist of it. As if you're learning and picking up things, that's good, and you're also having fun while doing it. So don't be afraid of that uncertainty, and until you get absolutely fluent, there's going to be words you don't know. There's going to be grammatical things that are confusing and you're not sure why they are. Be okay with that uncertainty, but enjoy the process. Enjoy what you're doing, whether that's watching the show or whatever. Learn the words and have fun with that. I think that's really, really key. Be okay with that high level of uncertainty of not understanding everything. I think a lot of people want to understand every single thing before doing it, and I think it's unrealistic. And you're staying in this kind of zone of not using fun material, just using flashcards to acquire vocabulary, where you could be doing these kind of more compelling things and compelling content that's going to make the process a lot easier for you. So I think that's very, very, very important to think about. And don't be afraid to just give it a shot. There's going to be times where you're going to listen to a podcast or a movie and you're not going to understand anything. If that happens, try a different movie. Try a different book. You'd be surprised that there is a range of difficulties with books and movies, and one movie makes total sense, the other one makes no sense at all, and it could be from subjects to whatever reason. So don't be discouraged from that first attempt. Try different movies, try different content to see if it works and if it doesn't work. And if you're still not there, learn more words. That's probably the biggest thing you can do to start enjoying compelling content. Acquire as many words as possible. The more words you know, the easier that film is going to be, the easier the reading content is going to be. So if you have to have an idea of what do you need to work on to start consuming compelling content, it's definitely vocabulary acquisition. Learn as many words as you possibly can and go from there. So this is what I had to say. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.